Joining us today, Nate Leupp, chairman of the 4th District Republican Club. Welcome. How are you, sir?
Great. It is a beautiful day in South Carolina right now.
Isn't it, though? I tell you, we've had some wonderful weather for sure as we head to the home stretch for Election Day. We had a great event on Thursday, handed out a lot of Trump yard signs. Wasn't it just a great time to be out there talking with one another, having people come by, pick up their Trump sign, and had a lot of horns blowing going up and down Wade Hampton too.
Constant horn blowings. It was great, especially when the truck drivers would go by. And almost every truck driver went ahead and let us know they were a Trump supporter.
Yep.
So it was a lot of fun, not only hearing from the people driving by, but hearing those that drove in and picked up signs.
Yep. I think there was one trucker who did not, and we're looking for him now. But it was definitely truckers for Trump on Thursday for sure. Nate, we're down to the wire now. Talk a little about the role that the 4th District Republican Club plays in turning out the vote, encouraging people to vote, because now that's where we are, isn't it? I mean, we have to make sure Republicans show up at the polls.
If voters and Trump supporters don't actually go put their ballot in the ballot box, all of it's in vain. So we really want people to make sure, especially this year, that they go and early vote. It's something that the Republicans and even President Trump in the past, we've been leery of. Absentee ballot is something that I still let people know if they can go early vote, that should be your first option. But the system here in South Carolina especially is identical. The early vote is identical to the election day voting. It's something I'm very confident in. So it's something that I plan on partaking in for the first time in a presidential race that I've participated in. But if you don't cast a ballot, if you don't encourage your friends and family, check up on them, make sure that they're voting, don't take anything for granted in this. And Joey, we had a conversation, I believe, yesterday that I believe that this may be one of the first time in decades that the Republicans can take the popular vote. Yeah. And so a lot of red states or ruby red states can still play a huge role in the national election, because I do believe that President Trump is going to be able to come close, if not win, the popular vote for the first time in many, many presidential cycles.
Well, it would be so nice if we could pull that off, because then it just takes the debate away from, the after the fact, the armchair quarterbacking. What if, if we can just win both, then the old too big to rig type thing. Now you mentioned on early voting that it's just like voting on Election Day, and it is. I mean, a lot of people, I think, get confused, Nate, and with me today, Nate Leupp, chairman of the 4th District Republican Club. A lot of people are confusing early voting with some of the shenanigans that we saw in 2020 with, some of the mail-in votes, some of the drop box votes. Early voting, you show up at a polling place, and it's probably not going to be where you typically vote on Election Day, because most counties have different locations. In some counties, there's just one location. That's your county election office. But Greenville, I think, has 4 locations?
I think we could have upwards of 8. I need to verify that, but Greenville's made it very easy to early vote.
Yeah.
And it's posted on the Election Commission's website. The most popular, if you're in central Greenville, is the old McAllister Square, and that's kind of the headquarters, but there's 6 or 7 other satellite locations.
Yeah. I'm thinking Spartanburg. I know Spartanburg has 4 locations, but just go to scvotes.gov, and you can see exactly where you need to vote depending on what county you're in. But it's just like Election Day, as Nate said. You show up, you have to show your photo ID, and you get the ballot and you vote. And unlike an absentee now, absentee voting, you have to request the absentee ballot. You have to have a valid reason for requesting it, meaning typically you're out of the country, military service, that type of thing, and then that one is mailed in. But early voting is, I think, very secure, and, we're seeing a lot of people take advantage of it. I'll have to tell you, Nate, I'm sort of traditional. I like to vote on Election Day, but this year I'm going to early vote. Kind of did a poll among my listeners, and everybody convinced me that I needed early vote, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be voting on Monday to make sure that my vote, bank my vote,
President Trump has asked us to do that. The RNC's asked us to do that. You never know what's going to happen on any one particular day, and it really may come down to a race that's so close that someone who may have an illness in the family or may be ill themselves, that adds up across the United States of America, and the 155 million votes that will go out there. You take a small percent, and that may make the difference in this race. So thinking of 2020, when President Trump got just shy of 75 million votes, small percentage of people that aren't able to go vote for whatever reason that intended to, really makes a difference. So early voting is a great option. I did find there are 7 locations in Greenville County that you can go vote, and it runs all the way through next Saturday, which will be, I think, November the 2nd. And so 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. It's a great option. There are long lines now. I think that'll dissipate a little bit as we go next week, but it's a great option.
Yep. You're having an election night watch party. Talk with us about who can attend. Give us the details.
We have the club, my 4th District Republican Club, has teamed up with our friends at WORD 98.9 for so many good events the last year. 2 debate watch parties that were just unbelievable. And of course, yesterday you came out and helped us with the sign wave and giveaway event where we gave just shy of 300 Trump signs out in a period of a couple hours to passerbys. And we had to limit how many signs we could give out, just 1 free sign per vehicle, just because there were so many people. But this election night party will be at Bimini's. It's by the Clemson Eye off Pelham and near Pelham and Haywood. A lot of the WRD radio personalities will be there. It is slated, we say, between 7 and 9. Of course, I think the party will be going pretty late. And I hope we are going to get an idea about who our next president's going to be, hopefully before we go to bed. There's only a handful of states that really we're looking at to be able to see who the next president is. And I think with the increase of early votes, once those votes come in, I think we'll have a good sampling. Here in South Carolina, the percentage, I think, is going to be more than we've ever had in the history of our presidential race. So once that early vote is released, I think we'll have a good idea about what the percentage is in South Carolina, but especially looking at Pennsylvania, Michigan, I think might be one of the tightest, but I think President Trump could pull that out. Wisconsin, that blue wall that Biden never successful in 2020, President Trump won in 2016, and we're going to swing back to President Trump in 2024.
Yep. And again, the election night watch party is going to be fun. It's going to be, you'll be able to interact with a lot of like-minded people, but also just watch President Trump pull this victory off. And as Nate said, Tara will be there, Bill Frady will be there, Charlie James. I'll be broadcasting and reporting in from time to time from the Heritage Foundation Media Center in Washington, D.C. with my buddy Mike Gallagher, but we'll be there with you and giving you reports from our nation's capital. Nate Leupp, it's always a pleasure. Appreciate what you do because you put in a lot of time for the effort of, and particularly this year, to get President Trump back in the Oval Office, and that does not go unnoticed. Thank you.
Thank you for all your help, Joey.
Sure thing. Nate Leupp, Chairman of the 4th District Republican Club, appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
This is Word on the Street with Joey Hudson on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.